Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into the life and work of Sir Isaac Newton, a name that's pretty much synonymous with gravity and maybe a few bruised apples.
Right.
But we're going to go beyond the surface level here
Yeah.
to uncover the true depth of his impact. We've got this presentation that paints a really fascinating picture of Newton's journey, from his difficult childhood to his absolutely revolutionary discoveries.
It is.
And it's all right here.
Yeah.
So before we dive in, what pops into your mind when you hear the name Isaac Newton?
I think a complex figure.
Yeah.
A brilliant mind with an insatiable curiosity about the universe and how it works.
Definitely complex and brilliant.
Yeah.
And we're going to see exactly how much.
Yeah.
So we're starting with Newton the man. Did you know that he was born prematurely on Christmas Day in
Sure.
1642?
Oh, wow.
A Christmas miracle for the world of science, some might say.
Yeah, yeah.
But his early life was anything but miraculous. Imagine this. Newton's father passed away before he was even born. Then his mother remarried and left him to be raised by his grandmother.
Wow.
That's a rough start.
It is.
You have to wonder if that difficult childhood played a role in shaping his inquisitive mind.
Ah, yeah, absolutely.
The presentation mentions that young Newton was fascinated by building models and mechanical devices.
Yeah,
Seems like those early interests really foreshadowed his later passions.
for sure. Absolutely.
And academically, Newton was a star from the get-go.
Yeah,
He eventually went on to study at Trinity College, Cambridge,
yeah.
which further fueled his intellectual growth. But then, boom, the Great Plague hits in 1665,
Oh, right.
and Newton has to return to Woolsthorpe. It's wild to think that a global pandemic actually led to some of the most groundbreaking scientific discoveries.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a testament to his resilience.
Yeah.
For many people, isolation breeds stagnation, but for Newton, it became a period of intense study and reflection.
Right.
And this is where his early ideas on calculus, optics, and gravitation began to take shape.
Yeah.
Concepts that would revolutionize our understanding of the world.
Yeah.
So here he is, back home, probably feeling a bit like we all did during those recent lockdowns.
Oh, yeah.
And while the rest of the world is in chaos, he's laying the groundwork for modern physics and mathematics.
It's absolutely incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Newton was more than just a scientist. He was deeply religious, even holding some unconventional beliefs for his time. He also served in Parliament and later became Master of the Mint,
Right.
responsible for England's currency.
It's crucial to remember that Newton wasn't a one-dimensional figure.
Right.
His ventures into politics and finance, alongside his deep religious convictions,
Yeah,
all contribute to a richer understanding of the man behind the science.
absolutely. Okay, so we've got this picture of Newton as a complex individual with diverse interests.
Right.
But let's face it, you can't talk about Newton without talking about his scientific contributions.
Of course.
And where better to start than with his famous laws of motion, the foundation of classical mechanics. Now, you know me, I'm no physicist,
Ye-
but I definitely remember wrestling with these concepts back in school.
Oh.
Can you break them down for us in a way that even I can understand?
Absolutely. Let's start with the first law, which is all about inertia. Basically, it states that an object at rest will stay at rest, and an object in motion will stay in motion at the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force.
Okay.
So think about it like this. That soccer ball you have, it's not going anywhere unless you give it a good kick.
Makes sense. So the ball is at rest, and my kick is the force that sets it in motion.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you so far. What about the second law? How does that fit in?
The second law relates force, mass, and acceleration.
Okay.
The force applied to an object equals its mass times its acceleration.
Right.
So a harder kick on that soccer ball
Yeah.
sends it flying further than a gentle tap.
Okay, that's a much better example than those shopping carts they always used in textbooks.
Yeah.
So force equals mass times acceleration.
Got it.
Now, what about the third law? I vaguely remember something about equal and opposite reactions, but it always kind of went over my head.
That's the one. The third law states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Think about jumping. When you jump up, you're pushing down on the ground.
Right.
Well, the ground pushes back up on you with an equal force propelling you into the air.
Wow, it all seems so much clearer now. Physics isn't just some abstract concept.
Right.
It's the science behind our everyday actions.
Exactly.
So we've tackled the laws of motion. What comes next in our Newtonian adventure?
Well, no exploration of Newton would be complete without diving into his groundbreaking work on universal gravitation.
Okay.
And yes, this is where the infamous apple story comes into play.
Ah, the apple. Everyone knows that story. But is it true? Did an apple really fall on Newton's head and spark this eureka moment?
Well, the apple falling on his head might be more legend than fact.
Yeah.
However, it perfectly illustrates the core concept. Gravity is a force of attraction between any two objects with mass.
So it's not just about apples falling from trees.
No.
There's a lot more to it.
Way more. Think about the moon orbiting the Earth, the
Yeah.
tides ebbing and flowing,
Right.
even the planets revolving around the sun. Newton's law of universal gravitation provided a single, elegant explanation for all these celestial phenomena.
Wow.
It was a giant leap forward in our understanding of how the universe works.
Okay, so Newton cracked the code on motion and gravity.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets really interesting, calculus. I've heard rumors that Newton basically invented this entire branch of mathematics just to help him with his work on gravity and motion. Is that true?
It's true. Newton was facing a problem. The math that existed at the time simply wasn't powerful enough to describe the intricacies of change and motion that he was observing. So he did something extraordinary. He invented calculus. This revolutionary tool allowed him to analyze the continuous change and motion he was studying with a level of precision never before possible.
Hold on. He just invented an entirely new type of math because he needed it. That's next level genius.
Yeah.
But it's calculus, so it must be pretty complex, right?
It can be, but at its heart, calculus is about studying how things change over time,
Right.
and its impact goes far beyond physics. Calculus is essential to modern science, engineering, economics, you name it.
Wow.
It's everywhere.
So not only did Newton revolutionize physics with his laws of motion and gravitation, he also equipped us with an entirely new mathematical language to understand the world around us.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why he's considered such a giant in the scientific world.
Yeah.
But what about his work with light and color? Didn't he make some breakthroughs there too?
Absolutely. Newton's work in optics was just as groundbreaking. Through his experiments with prisms,
Okay.
he demonstrated that white light is actually a combination of all the colors of the rainbow.
Wait, so we can thank Newton for rainbows?
Well, not exactly for rainbows themselves,
Okay.
but his discoveries in optics were monumental.
Yeah.
He revealed the true nature of light and color, which led to incredible advancements in telescopes and our understanding of how the human eye perceives color.
Okay, I am officially blown away by Newton's accomplishments.
Yeah.
It sounds like we owe so much of our modern world to his relentless curiosity and groundbreaking work.
Oh, absolutely.
And from what you've said, it seems like we've only scratched the surface of his impact.
You're absolutely right. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to explore. In our next segment, we'll delve deeper into the lasting impact of Newton's work and how it continues to shape the world we live in today.
Okay, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Yeah. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the formulas and theories when we talk about someone like Newton.
Right.
But it's important to remember that his work goes far beyond those abstract concepts.
Yeah.
It has had and continues to have a profound impact on our daily lives.
That's what I'm really curious about. How did these laws of motion, this understanding of gravity and light,
Yeah.
actually affect the world around us? Things we experience every day.
Well, think about it this way. Every time you drive across a bridge,
Yeah.
you're experiencing the impact of Newton's laws of motion firsthand.
Oh.
Those laws are the foundation of classical mechanics, which dictates how we design and build everything from cars and airplanes to bridges and skyscrapers. Engineers use their understanding of forces and how they interact with objects to create structures that are both safe and functional.
So Newton is basically the unsung hero of civil engineering.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. But what about things like space travel?
Yeah.
How does Newton fit into that picture?
Space travel wouldn't be possible without our understanding of gravity and motion
Right.
concepts that were first laid out by Newton.
Yeah.
His work allowed us to calculate the forces needed to launch rockets,
Okay.
predict the trajectories of satellites,
Right.
and navigate spacecraft through the solar system.
Wow, so those ideas from centuries ago are still propelling us forward literally. It's mind-blowing to think that something Newton figured out all those years ago is now helping us explore the cosmos.
Exactly.
And remember calculus. We talked about how Newton developed it to solve problems related to motion and gravity.
Right.
Well, that mathematical tool has gone on to have a truly massive impact.
It has.
You mentioned it. It's used everywhere.
Yeah.
But Can you give me some concrete examples? Like, how does calculus affect my life?
Well, for starters, calculus is essential for modeling complex systems. Think about weather forecasting,
Okay.
predicting those sudden downpours that ruin your picnic plans.
Right.
That involved complex calculations made possible by calculus.
Got it.
Or consider the algorithms that power your favorite social media apps recommending those hilarious cat videos you can't resist.
Yeah.
Calculus is at work behind the scenes there, too.
So Newton is kind of like the grandfather of the digital age. That's pretty wild.
He is.
But what about his work in optics? We touched on telescopes, but how else has that research shaped the modern world?
Newton's insights into light and color were truly revolutionary,
Yeah.
leading to huge advancements in our understanding of optics. This knowledge paved the way for improvements in lens design,
Got
which
it.
in turn led to the development of more powerful telescopes, microscopes, and even cameras.
Okay, so sharper images on my phone thanks to Newton. Got it.
Yeah.
But what about those medical imaging technologies you mentioned earlier, like X-rays and MRIs?
Yeah.
How do those relate to Newton's work with light?
That's a great question. Think about it this way. X-rays use a specific kind of light to create images of your bones, right?
Yeah.
And MRIs use powerful magnets and radio waves to create detailed images of your organs and tissues.
Right.
These technologies wouldn't be possible without a deep understanding of how light and other forms of electromagnetic radiation interact with matter principles that Newton helped establish.
So Newton's work is helping us see both the vastness of the universe and the intricate details of our own bodies.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It seems like his influence truly knows no bounds.
And it's not just about the direct applications of his work.
Okay.
Newton's scientific method, his rigorous approach to observation, experimentation, and analysis, continues to be the bedrock of scientific inquiry today.
So it's not just about the answers he found,
Right.
but the way he went about finding them.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Precisely. Newton showed us how to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
How to design experiments.
Oh,
How to analyze data, and how to draw conclusions based on evidence.
right.
This framework for approaching scientific problems is one of his most enduring legacies.
You know, we've talked a lot about Newton, the scientist, the
Yeah.
brilliant mind behind these groundbreaking discoveries.
Yeah.
But the presentation also mentions that he had a life beyond science, a life filled with complexities and contradictions. It says he was deeply religious, even dabbling in alchemy,
You're right.
which seems a bit odd for someone so focused on reason and logic.
Right. And this is where we see the full picture of Newton, not just the scientific icon.
Yeah.
He was a man of his time,
Yeah.
grappling with questions of faith, philosophy, and the unknown.
Right.
And while some of his beliefs might seem unusual or even contradictory to us today,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that our understanding of the world is constantly evolving.
It's a good reminder that even the greatest minds are products of their era. And speaking of time, Newton lived a long and productive life, passing away in 1727 at the ripe old age of 84.
Wow.
That's quite a legacy to leave behind.
Absolutely. And a testament to that legacy is his final resting place.
Okay.
Westminster Abbey, alongside some of England's most revered figures.
Mm.
It speaks volumes about the profound impact he had, not just on the world of science, but on society as a whole.
Okay, so we've covered Newton's incredible scientific contributions,
Right.
his lasting impact on our world,
Yeah.
and even the complexities of his personal beliefs.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier, that Newton wasn't just about finding answers, he was about asking the right questions.
Yes, and that's a key takeaway here.
Okay.
Newton's relentless curiosity, his drive to understand the workings of the universe, is ultimately what set him apart.
So what does this all mean for us, the everyday folks who maybe aren't physicists or mathematicians? Why should we care about Isaac Newton and his work? What's the takeaway for us?
Newton's story reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is a powerful force. It has the potential to change the world, to shape our understanding of who we are and where we fit in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
His discoveries weren't just about physics or math.
Right.
They were about expanding our horizons and challenging the limits of human understanding.
Yeah.
And that's something we can all appreciate regardless of our background.
You know, as we've been exploring Newton's world, I keep thinking about how rapidly science and technology are advancing today.
Yeah.
Are there any modern-day Newtons out there making discoveries that will have a similar impact on future generations?
That's a great question. It's impossible to predict who the next Newton will be.
Right.
but there are definitely brilliant minds pushing the boundaries of science right now.
Yeah.
Just look at the research happening in fields like artificial intelligence, gene editing, and quantum computing.
Yeah.
These areas have the potential to completely revolutionize our world in ways we can only begin to imagine.
It's both exciting and a little daunting to think about.
It is.
Newton's discoveries fundamentally changed our understanding of the universe.
Yeah,
Do you think these new technologies could have a similar impact?
absolutely. Imagine a future where AI helps us tackle huge global challenges like climate change or pandemics,
Yeah.
or where quantum computing unlocks new possibilities in medicine, allowing us to develop personalized treatments tailored to your specific genetic makeup.
Wow.
We are on the verge of some truly groundbreaking advancements.
Okay, now my mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what Newton would think if he could see the world today.
Right.
He was a man of immense intellect, but also a product of his time.
Yeah.
Would he embrace these new frontiers of science, or would he be skeptical?
It's a fascinating thought experiment. Newton was deeply religious,
Right.
and some of his beliefs might seem at odds with our modern scientific understanding.
Yeah.
But at his core, he was a relentless seeker of knowledge,
Yeah.
driven by a desire to unlock the secrets of the universe. I truly believe that same insatiable curiosity would lead him to embrace the challenges and opportunities presented by these new scientific fields.
It's a good reminder that science is a never-ending journey.
It is.
What we consider groundbreaking today might be completely overturned by new discoveries tomorrow.
Right.
And that's what makes it so exciting. We're always learning, always pushing the boundaries of what we know.
Exactly. Newton's story isn't just about the past,
Right.
it's about the future. It's about the enduring power of human curiosity and the infinite possibilities that await us as we continue to explore the unknown.
Well, I think we've done a pretty amazing job unpacking Sir Isaac Newton, the man, the myth, the legend.
We have.
We've covered his difficult childhood, his revolutionary discoveries in motion, gravity, calculus, and optics.
Yeah,
And we explored the lasting impact his work continues to have on our world.
absolutely.
And perhaps most importantly, we've highlighted the importance of asking questions, challenging assumptions, and never losing that childlike sense of wonder about the universe.
It's crucial.
It really is.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Isaac Newton, I want to leave you with this thought. Newton's story shows us that even when faced with incredible challenges, even when the world feels uncertain, the human mind is capable of extraordinary things.
Yeah.
Embrace your curiosity. Never stop questioning. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to make the next groundbreaking discovery.
The journey of discovery never truly ends. There's always more to learn, more to explore, more to understand.
Yeah.
Keep seeking, keep questioning, keep pushing the boundaries of knowledge. That's the true legacy of Sir Isaac Newton.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the life and work of Sir Isaac Newton.
Okay.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that curiosity alive.